Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Archangels and Ascended Masters, for the perfect guidance, perfect clarity, and perfect peace that's here for each of us right now. So if we could breathe in right where you are and let everything be like you have no gravity and feel this sense of like cotton candy surrounding you. And if we could just feel everything becoming light and buoyant like you're on a cloud. And if we could very simply into this, all the spaces, the space between your cells, the space between um, your eyelashes, if we could feel all those spaces, minute spaces and large spaces, being infused with angelic energy right now from all the angels you know by name. But if we could let Archangel Haniel, who's the angel of grace and sensitivity, if we could let Haniel come to you and just allow her to make everything better. If we could feel her gentle care, her gentle touch, her breath on you, if we could just breathe in and feel an infusion of angelic care right where you are right this second, right in the space that you occupy, right where you're sitting down or lying down. If we could just breathe in and let that happen. And thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Archangels and Ascended Masters, for helping us in every single part of our lives right now. We choose to release to you any despair, any despondency, any confusion, and we allow clarity, calm, peace, and justice to be present with us right now. We put on the table things like play, humor, charm, creativity, and perfect healing. We allow the highest good to happen for each of us right now, including all of humanity. And we choose this moment to let in the most positive way possible, like going to sleep. We let everything else shut out and allow ourselves to focus on our own care right now, including the care provided by angels that we know by name: Michael, Gabriel, Ariel, Metatron, Zadkiel, Raziel, Uriel, Sandalphon, the whole gang, and Archangel Haniel, touching your face, touching your body, and just whatever it means to you to feel her breath right on you. And if we could feel also with this immediate care, her working on the entire chakra system. And if there's an activity with that, it's clearing out the energy of other people, including clearing out distress. So if we could feel everything slowing down, and the activity in the word replenish, letting every part of you be replenished. And if we could release any stop or like a dam for water, letting any block to receptivity to good, any self punishment that stops things, if we could let that move to the side and letting the angels do that for you. And if we could very simply say out loud, thank you, angels, for being with me. I fully and completely receive your loving care now. I fully and completely receive your loving care now. Thank you for cleansing and clearing my entire existence. I embrace the role of wisdom in my life. Pardon me. If we could just take in a breath. And if we could, we're going to do something that they're going to make this incredibly simple, but constellation therapy, where we work on ancestral things. If we could let whatever this means to you, Archangel Raziel play the role of father, and Archangel Gabriel play the role of mother. Gabriel could show up as a female or a male. And if we could just breathe and let them, whatever that means to you, we don't need to pay attention to that. But let's just notice that they're holding those roles and letting healing happen on anyone who holds a father role, anyone who holds a mother role, which might include strangers, which might include archetypes. So if we could notice in short that they're working, and perhaps our focus can go to Archangel Haniel, right in front of you with 1,000% attention on you and letting her work. And if we can come back to her working on minute spaces, the space between your fingernail and your finger, the space between any wrinkle in your body, in your DNA, every single strand of DNA. And notice a beautiful activity that she's doing of extraction and infusion, extracting what doesn't serve you, infusing angelic energy into what does serve you. And so, if we could feel, just moving ahead to where we'll be 20 minutes from now, is a huge amount of angelic infusion into your perception, into your perspective, into your cells, into your breath. If we could just let her keep working on that and notice that activity happening right now. And if we could notice with some care that what is it like if angels were your parents right now? And if we could let them hold those roles, and let's let these angels provide security, protection, and guidance for you. Let's let them provide finances for you. Let's let them provide structure. And if we could breathe in and let them provide a perspective, a point of view around all that's happening in the world. Which might be really simple. Wonderful. So let's just breathe in. We'll let the activity of Raziel and Gabriel being parents and working on every issue surrounding those roles. If we could notice Archangel Haniel continuing her very fine work. Let's notice whatever it is you're leaning against, the chair, the bed, the car seat, whatever it is that you're leaning against. Let's let what you're leaning against be Archangel Uriel, who works with sensitivity and creativity. And if we could notice as we lean back and let him support you, him singing you a song. Wonderful. And right where you are, be it a physical window or an imaginary window, if we could notice Archangel Gabriel opening up the window, if we could see all the help from people who are no longer physical, all the help happening in the United States and the world right now from masterful beings. Martin Luther King, the poet Sappho, people who contributed mightily to the planet and held and hold a vision, Ram Dass, the Ascended Master Jesus, Hildegard von Bingen, Joan of Arc. If we could just breathe into these titanic figures and just notice that they're helping, that they're not passive, And if we could take the pressure off of this moment and recognize that humanity's been through a lot, and we really are, if we boil things down to one thing, we're dealing with trauma right now, and we know how to heal trauma. And when you're in a fight or flight response, you can't think. So if we could just take that in, not being able to think and being only able to react, you might want to go with the guys who are threatening other people. So if we could just have a context for that. And if we go with the best of the best in terms of what humanity has to offer in terms of genius, let's go with the side of love. Let's follow the Harry Potter model that love is the most powerful thing in the universe. We'll notice that love heals and that love is here, and we all want loves. Every single person on the planet wants peace and love. So if we could just breathe into that commonality and notice that our methods are different. And as Ram Dass says, we won't attach to method and not get hung up on method. If we could just take in a breath. And if we could let everything that's being said so far, everything that's being said and shown, have a context or create a context where all is well and great things are here. So if we could breathe into this moment, and let's let Martin Luther King come forward. And with words, with energy, with presence, let's very simply notice what he contributes to you in this moment. Wonderful. And if we could notice like an uncle, him just sitting in the room and holding space. And if we could let the activity turn to both sorry, it's a choice. So if we could just breathe in, if you notice which angel or angels you'd like to very simply tend to all of your wounds, be they psychic wounds, core wounds, physical healing, joints that hurt, conditions like cancer, fear, confusion, whatever it is that feels like a wound or harm, if we could let either Archangel Ariel, Michael, Haniel, Uriel, your angel of your choice, tend to those wounds like a grandmother. If we could just breathe in and notice that activity starting and that activity being done with perfection and to perfection. And if we could perhaps notice a scent, a pleasant smell, like the smell of hot chocolate or something warm and soothing or soup. Let's just notice every one of our senses being tended to and this act of immense care of healing happening right now. And if we could take in a breath and allow more of you to be revealed, and perhaps this is only in a positive way based on the activity happening, let's let even more of our pain, even more of the things that we would like healed to be revealed to the angel attending to you. And just being clear about that activity. That's just noticing here's this too, not making us vulnerable or exposed. Deep, deep, deep healing and perfect healing. And like letting the air out of a balloon, and perhaps a balloon that's been inflated for a long time, if we could release any idea that you don't know what to do. And if we could notice all the wisdom in the room with you right now. Wonderful. If we could notice, they're making a distinction here. There's more folks coming forward to pray for you, and there's a distinction of folks who might be in the room with you or right outside the room. But it's of all different cultures, all different faiths. Ram Dass is coming forward to pray, as is Melchizedek, as is Mother Mary. If we could just breathe in and notice very potent prayers coming forward to pray for you, to heal you. We'll notice the master healer, Jesus, coming forward, who might work off of the ceiling. Animal medicine, animal help. So if we could just really feel comprehensive help being here right now. And if we could trust something, they're not going to miss a thing. There's not one part of our existence that they're going to go like, oh, wait a minute, we can't heal that. Doesn't exist. Let's let our core wounds be healed, letting superficial wounds be healed, letting things in your emotional life be healed, any mental wounds, mental blocks being healed. Noticing a great deal of empowerment, the wisdom to make excellent decisions all the time, to trust the process of growth in humanity, which is accelerating right now. To honor our own healing, to honor other people who are experiencing health challenges, be that through a virus or something like cancer. And notice that the angels are attending to everyone right now, and you deserve care. And if we could, they're making a big deal about this, just very simply, you are not forgotten. You are not neglected. You are included. You are seen. You are heard, as is everyone else in the world. We are all included. Wonderful. This comes from Ram Dass, who before he was Ram Dass, when he was Richard Alpert, was a professor of psychology at Harvard and Stanford. If we could just breathe in, hold the intention of every single human being on the planet, alive now and to be born, this moment forward, that everyone has full growth of their emotional world, which includes the full development of the brain to include empathy. That anything that got interrupted, stunted, which is most of us, if we could let everyone have that full experience, if we could just hold that intention to have a very adult, actual adult world where indeed no one gets lost. And that includes us. That includes you. Where we express ourselves positively, where we create, where we express ourselves creatively. We draw, we paint, we write, we sing, we dance, we do all the above. We heal. Where we take care of ourselves. So we create a generation that has no trauma whatsoever. And we heal all of our own trauma. Where our descendants might ask the question, why do people used to kill each other? And we'll notice this space of evolution that is happening that we are participating in right now. And noticing this world being created where greed doesn't exist, where any sacrifice of health for profit no longer exists, and where conditions like cancer don't exist anymore. Neither does mental health issues. We could just breathe in and notice this space that we're holding and letting that energy that we are creating come to you right now. So the good part's not later, the good part is now. And if we can let any pain in the jaw, any clenching of teeth, any tension in the jaw, any joint, any tension in your head, including in your vision, letting all of those things relax and be healed. Wonderful. And in this space of healing, if we could notice everything continuing, but all the guides who are in the room with you and the ones outside of the room rotating. So there might be a different angel or guide right in front of you. If you could just notice for yourself with that rotation, who is now engaged with you and letting them help. And if we could perhaps let Joan of Arc have a role of prominence in this moment. A teenager who had perfect faith in her physical life, which she was trained for. If we could recognize we're doing something similar here. We're allowing ourselves, training ourselves to have perfect faith. So if we could notice that that exists, and if we could release the human trait to be okay with intuitive things that happened in the past with Jesus, Joan of Arc, that happened then. If we could let it all happen right now. Your spiritual life, your intuitive self, your intuitive muscle, being honored and sparkling, and great things happening right now. If we could notice Joan with a sense of ritual and empowerment, empowering you to have everything that she has, empowering you to have perfect faith, recognizing your significant role. If we use different wording, recognizing who you actually are. And if we could let there just be wash away, like wiping away tears, we could let anything about diminishment move away and letting the empowerment have more levity and lightness around you and above you. And as the care continues, let's notice another rotation. And if we could notice the significance of the written word, and if we could notice our choice with written words of releasing anything we might call an old contract, whatever language that is, and letting all the writing be fresh, letting your agreements in this lifetime be fresh. And if we could say out loud, perhaps in a slightly louder voice than normal, I choose to experience greatness. I choose to participate in the best of humanity. I am an ambassador of peace. And I am loved right now. And I am loved right now. Good. If we could just take in a breath. If we could notice very simply that you are included in all this good. Wonderful. And if we could feel very simply just through vibration, and we'll let Archangel Sandalphon, the angel vibration, come forward along with Archangel Ariel. Let's notice a whole new set of boundaries based on what we're doing right now coming forward, which includes your absolute protection, perfect protection. It's safe for you to hold a high vibration. It's safe for you to hold a different space. It's safe for you to have your own point of view. It's safe for you to know, and it's safe for what you know to expand, to include wisdom and hope. And if we could say out loud, I embrace wisdom and hope. Wonderful. If we could let there be one more rotation and noticing which guide or guides are right in front of you. And if we could feel everything that's happening right now, all these positive things, locking in their wording, locking into your cells, to your DNA, the recognition of who you are, all the help that's available, all the different realizations that are flashing in your consciousness, the relaxation and cleansing in your body, in your DNA, in your cells, the harmony that is here, the peace that is here, the love that is here. And notice with angelic glee, the fact that you are included and you are connected with the angels, being included in every single cell, every single strand of DNA. And perhaps to illustrate that with some humor, the angels spray painting on your wall, we love you. Little arrow pointing toward you. If we could breathe in. There is no mistake. There's only love. If we could breathe in and notice all these angels, all these guides having their eyes on you. And if we could notice perpetual prayer happening for you from beings like Ram Dass, Martin Luther King, Melchizedek, Mother Mary, Hildegard, Joan of Arc, the angels, that it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. As we learn, as we relax, as we evolve. If we could feel this healing happening in all directions of time, in our ancestry, in our past lives, in this lifetime, in our past, and moving forward into our future. Creating comprehensive care, letting any sense of distance diminish, to feel everything happening right now for the highest possible good. And if we could say out loud, I am included in all the good in the universe. I am included in all this good right now. I am. And if we could say our own names out loud, I am Mark. I'm receiving care right now. I fully receive this care. I am perfectly healed right now. I am perfectly healthy right now. I'm right here right now. I release the idea that somewhere else is better. I recognize that I am loved right now. Thank you, angels, for perfectly positioning me on the planet. Thank you. Wonderful. We'll breathe in. And they're noting we're heading toward a conclusion, but they're going to do a couple more things. If we could let, without any harm to you, but if, like glass shattering, if we could let the rules shatter around you and collapse, whatever the rules are. And if we could notice in the absence of rules, there is order, not chaos. And if we could say out loud, I release the rules. I embrace order. I live on a peaceful planet. I live on a planet where health is celebrated. I live on a planet where everyone thrives. I live on a planet that reveres justice. I live on a planet where everyone expresses themselves creatively and positively. I appreciate this planet. And I let it be so. Wonderful. If we can notice, like saying goodnight at a party, when everyone shakes hands or kisses goodnight. If we could notice the guys like Martin Luther King, perhaps touching your third eye, Ram Dass, Joan of Arc, there being a ritual. We can notice the angels staying as they're with us all the time. And if we could let all this goodness move forward, we'll remain here now, but notice that this goodness is maintaining throughout your day. 5 minutes from now, an hour from now, later today, this evening. And letting the atmosphere that you exist in, including dealing with other people, letting all those interactions be positive and be brand new. So we get to be very present. And to all the guides, every single angel and guide that came forward, we'll lovingly say out loud to them, thank you so much. Wonderful. We'll just breathe in. And thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, archangels and ascended masters. Hang on just a second. If we could just take in a breath, and if we could hear from all the guides that were here, including Martin Luther King and all the angels, if we could just let them say to you how much they love you, how much they appreciate you, and how present they are with you. If we could just breathe in to their expression of love. And to that, we'll just say out loud, thank you. And thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, archangels and ascended masters. Thank you for all the clarity, peace, harmony, and joy that is here for each of us right now. We celebrate our inclusion. We celebrate the inclusion of all of humanity into this moment of evolution. We recognize that fear and punishment are nowhere. We recognize that love is everything, and we celebrate the love that is here, an abundance of love, unconditional love. And we celebrate the world being showered with love right now and solutions being present. We don't need to figure everything out mentally. We hold the vibration, we hold the intention, like we've said so specifically during this time, and we let it be. And we choose to be here right now and to celebrate life and to have positive, positive intentions, positive words, let the highest good happen. And with generosity, peace, and ease, we thank every single guide and we ask for this or something better right now in all directions of time. And so it is.